I just been scratching my head, and I'm gonna try to make the most sense of what's been happening. Oh, y'all say no sound. Can y'all hear me? Hold on. Remove studio. Hold on. If you can't hear me, hold on. See audio testing, testing. Can y'all hear me? Yes or no in the comment section. Yes or no in the comment section. Can you hear me? I don't know what's going on. Yes, fixed. Oh, okay, cool. All right. I don't know what was happening, but I'm glad it's better now. Um, but yes, man, welcome back to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. We are live. I'm gonna get straight to it. I'm not gonna waste y'all time. I'm just gonna talk about it. I gotta be honest with you. At first I was confused, then I start trying to make some sense of it, and I have some really good reasons why some of the things that happened today happened. Dolphins have everyone confused, and we're about to talk about it. And no, this is not about Deshaun Watson, okay? This is about Bernard McKinney and Matt Skura, okay? Matt Skura, I definitely understood right away. Bernard McKinney, we got to talk about that in more detail. Before we get started, all right? Well, Breeder G, my brother in the building. Y'all hit that like button. Let your friends and family members know about the channel. We continue to add more and more subscribers, guys. I appreciate it. All the new subscribers, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Thank y'all so much for subscribing to the channel. We appreciate y'all being a part of the family. As of right now, we are at 17,428 subscribers. So we're about 72 away from hitting 17,500. So we'll hit that pretty soon. I just like to keep y'all up to date on where we are as a group, because we're doing this together, building a Dolphin community that keep it real, man. That's what this is about. We're keeping it real, okay? All right, so let's break it down. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. First and foremost, the Matt Skura wave was writing on the wall. I was confused why we brought in another center. When we know that Dieter has really held it down up the middle, so he's going to be our guy. And then we bring in the other guy from Baltimore, Marks or whatever, however you pronounce it, right? And I knew it. I said, you know what? Matt Skura is probably out of there because he hasn't done a job to where he took over for the first unit. And number two, we brought somebody in that plays all three interior positions, and they're not going to keep all those guys. Matt Skura is out of there. And I knew that would happen. They signed him on like a $1.75 million contract, but only $400,000 was guaranteed. So they basically shake his hand and say, thank you for your services. Here goes $400,000. Go find your little minimum job somewhere else. Somebody may pick you up, and he may get picked up somewhere, okay? So that was understandable. Then we had all those other cuts. I ain't finna talk about them because we knew that, okay? Everybody else who was cut except Bernard McKinney, we already knew what time it was. It is what it is. Ain't nothing to sit here and be like, this guy, I thought he had a chance. That guy, no, all of them got cut. They were getting cut, okay? All right, so let's get to the elephant in the room, Bernard McKinney. I know everybody hitting me up. What is going on, TD? How is this possible? It is a shocker, but we got to go through the history of this, okay? First of all, we traded with Houston to acquire him, okay? We traded with Houston to acquire him. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm not bringing up Watson at all, but there's some weird stuff going on with Miami and Houston. To me, it's almost starting to feel like we're unloading some of their contracts and different things like that to help them out for whatever reason. I have no clue. But they bring in Bernard McKinney. Me and many other people in the Dolphin community were excited about it because we were one of the worst teams in stopping the run in the interior last year. And Bernard McKinney is a game changer in that aspect of his game. That's one thing he can do, plug a hole and get greedy and grimy tackles for loss. He gets the job done. He was a shoo-in. Okay? But we cut him today. And you know me, I'm never going to jump the gun. I could have went live an hour and a half ago. I'm not going to jump the gun. I'm going to get me I got to get my good theory on why this possibly happened. So I had to go back and look at the storyline in the first place. And some things make some sense to me. Some of you, and I've been saying this for at least 2 months now, something crazy going on with Bernard McKinney's contract. Yeah, I don't know if y'all remember that. Y'all remember I kept saying that? The guy was due to make $7.5 million. And all of a sudden, his contract got adjusted to $3 million. And I was like, what is going on? Something's not making sense. He was supposed to make 7.5, and nobody talked about it. There was no breaking news. There was this little snippet that came out on the day Bernard McKinney restructures his contract. And next thing you know, they restructured. The man had, I got to give y'all context to this, okay? First of all, Bernard McKinney signed a 5-year, $50 million contract extension with the Houston Texans. 5-year, $50 million contract. The first year of that contract, they gave him $10 million. Now, out of all of it, $21 million was guaranteed. The first year in Houston, they gave him $10 million. The second year in Houston, they paid him $6-something million. And the third year in Houston, they paid him $6-something million. And then the Dolphins traded for him. And when you think of that, the Dolphins traded for a guy who had 0 guarantees on his contract. And he was set to make $7.5 million. And what did the Dolphins do? And this is speculation, but I'm telling y'all, this is the only thing that makes sense. They called him in the office and said, we're thinking about cutting you. Y'all remember when we needed money? You know, we couldn't even sign our draft picks. Y'all remember when we were trying to accumulate some cash? And who are we going to restructure? Anybody getting restructured? You know that they restructured Albert Wilson. They restructured Allen Hurns. They restructured like 5 guys, but nobody talked about it. Nobody talked. Like it was one of the most subtle things you heard of a restructure, but nobody talked about the details. And I got to be quite honest with you. This is where Greer is a genius. This is where he's a genius. So you picked up Bernard McKinney in a trade and got an expiring contract that still had 3 years left on it, but 0 guarantees. Then you bring him into the organization. You bring him in the office and you say, you're supposed to make $7.5 million this year. We're thinking about cutting you. But if you want a spot on this roster, we're willing to renegotiate your contract down to $3 million. For some reason, he agreed. They restructured the contract and it was adjusted. Let me read the transaction notes for the NFL. July 28th, 2021, Bernard McKinney's contract was reduced for compensation from $7.5 million to $3 million. And the Miami Dolphins voided the 2022 and 2023 years of his contract. Not only did they cut his monies from $7.5 to $3 million, but they said, and we're not giving you the last 2 years. We're wiping those years out. We're voiding that. We are not going to, you have a 1-year deal now for $3 million. Now, we move forward to today when they released Bernard McKinney. And how did it go from $3 million to $750,000 fully guaranteed? See, some of y'all may not know that, but Bernard McKinney was only a cap hit of $750,000 this year, fully guaranteed. So here's where it doesn't make any sense at all. You let him go for free. You cut him and saved $0 because you got to pay him the $750,000 anyway. They cut him and we got to pay him the $750,000 anyway that he was going to make this year. And by the way, the Houston Texans are still paying him $1.5 million this year. Just so you know, a part of the signing bonus that they cannot get around. Flo and EM roughing EM up for some change. So this isn't about cap space. That's what I'm trying to help y'all understand. He was under contract for $750,000. And if we cut him, we had a dead cap of $750,000. This isn't about cap space. We saved $0. We saved $0. According to Spotrac, this year, his salary was $750,000, and if we cut him, it's a dead cap of $750,000. We let him go for free, which tells me, because first of all, let's be honest, I had to think to myself, did the guys behind him, were they better than him in camp? Were they better than him in camp? Elandon Roberts? Was he better than him in camp? Sammy Guavin? Was he better than him in camp? Now, I know y'all going to point to the monster game Sammy Guavin had against third and fourth stringers. Don't forget that. Second, third, and fourth stringers in preseason. But were they better? I'm not sure about that. And on top of it, this guy is free. Now, maybe it's the age factor. Some of those guys are younger. I don't know. But there is one more theory that I have. The Miami Dolphins may have just helped him out. They may have legitimately just said, listen, we got your salary down to $750,000. You're worth more than that. We have young guys that can handle it for the future. We're going to release you and pay you that money and allow you to go on another team and get you some more money. So sometimes those things happen. Someone said this was not a performance cut. My point exactly. My point exactly. This had nothing to do with a performance cut. And I think maybe they just simply said, you reduce your salary from $7.5 million all the way down to pretty much $750,000, 10% of what you expected to make. We're going to go ahead and cut you right now early, pay you your $750,000 and allow you to go find another team, and they'll pay you some good money with your worth. We got young guys. We're going to continue to build and go with the youth in this regards. Because here's one thing I will tell y'all. He's getting a little older. He's 28 years old right now. And the reality is, even if he would have played this season, he wasn't going to be the long-term future. So I can understand that. He was not going to be the long-term future. They had already voided his future years. And I don't think that they were willing to give a new contract with more guaranteed money. And look at that. Scott Jackson makes a good point. This is why I say something is crazy. Something crazy is going on with Houston and the Dolphins. They've been doing too much business, and some of it doesn't make no sense whatsoever. Listen to what Scott Jackson just said, and he makes an excellent point. Look at the bright side. We swapped McKinney for Shaq Lawson, and Houston just got rid of Shaq Lawson. They did the same thing with Shaq Lawson. He didn't even get to play. We literally traded Shaq Lawson to them and Bernard McKinney to us. And both teams did the same thing to each player. Both teams did the same thing with each player. They got rid of Shaq Lawson, didn't even play a snap with them a season. And we got rid of Bernard McKinney and didn't even play a regular season snap. There's too much business going on with Houston lately and too much craziness. And maybe that's just me. I know the Texans traded Lawson, but lucky them for at least getting something for him. Lucky them for at least getting something for him. That's what's shocking to me. We didn't even get nothing for Bernard McKinney. a good run stopper, a talented. I mean, I ain't saying that he's the best in the league or superior, but a type of guy that starts on your team. Starter, y'all. Bernard McKinney is our starter. Interior lineman. Would have played snaps next to Jerome and played in his place in some cases. Or it's even bigger than that. And I ain't going to get into all of those things, but this is not a performance cut. Did he get in trouble? Did they not like in so many scenarios? They're going to ask about it tomorrow for sure. But does it matter that they ask? What Flo going to say? Well, you know, we feel like we had to do what was best for our teams. We felt like we selected a great group of guys. Because he probably ain't going to do a press conference until after all the cuts are made. We feel like we like the group of guys that we had. It was a tough decision. You know, sometimes you got to make hard decisions. He ain't going to, you see what I mean? This is a loaded one because I'm just intrigued to how they cut all this man money just to the point to where they like, we're going to let you go for free. So, hey, it's a Landon Roberts, Sam McGuavin. It's on them. And I don't, that's not a problem for me. What people need to understand is I love Bernard McKinney and what he could have did for us this year, but he was never going to be the long term. He was 28 years old. Next year, he'll be 29. The Dolphins basically picked up, was able to get Shaq Lawson out of there. They were able to get Shaq out of the building and pick up Bernard McKinney on an expiring contract. But some things ain't adding up, man. But I am concerned about, I got to be honest with y'all. I thought he was going to be the difference maker this year, stopping the run. Will we stop the run? Yeah, I hope so now. But I feel like we just took a little blow in that regards. Shout out to Ball Game in the building. He said they have to have a plan. I'm sure they will figure this out. As long as the D line does their job, we will be fine. Yeah, I know they have a plan and they have to figure it out. But what I don't understand is you didn't have to have another plan and figure it out. He was making $750,000 and it was $750,000 dead cap. There was zero benefit to release him. You basically cut him for free and gained zero out of it. We gained nothing by cutting him. A guy who was going to play quality time on the field and contribute. Nah, the D-line is the answer to that. Without good D-line play, it won't matter how good your linebackers are. I agree, but if the D-line plays well, it's going to matter how good your linebackers are. Because you go up against the Colts and certain teams with these power run offenses, your D-line could be good, but that second level is still going to be reached at times. And I understand they love Landon Roberts, but you traded for Bernard McKinney, and then on top of it, I don't know. Because again, if Landon Roberts get hurt, then what? See, I thought they both would make the roster. But if Landon Roberts get hurt, then what? That's one thing that I love about this roster. I felt like we were going to have depth in so many different positions. Now, if Landon Roberts gets hurt, then what? Man, who's next? Who's the next surprise to get released? Who's the next surprise? Who's the next surprise getting cut? Y'all said Albert Wilson, Preston Williams. Albert Wilson, I would be shocked. But hey. Oh man, tomorrow 4 p.m. we'll have more clarity on the final roster. But that was definitely a shocker, man. Tunsil TD, LOL. You think Miami trying to bring Tunsil back? Hey, wouldn't that be crazy though? Wouldn't that be crazy if the Miami Dolphins traded to bring Tunsil back? That would be kind of crazy. That would be crazy. That's funny though. They aren't trading Preston. He's so cheap. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Sinet is going to take Tua's job. Y'all stop, man. Y'all stop. Y'all stop. But hey, it is what it is, man. This is where we are. Why we cut Bernard. You got to go back and watch the beginning of this stream. Shout out to Finsanity. The Texans did say anyone on their roster is available. Wouldn't that be crazy if that's the blockbuster with the Texans? They actually trade Laremy Tunsil back to us and we give them a decent deal for him. Like, think about that. What would you trade to get Laremy Tunsil back at this point? First off, you got to talk about what we gave up. And he's $22 million cap now, even though they're eating some of that. Wouldn't that be crazy? What would you do to get Laremy Tunsil back? Not what they gave up for him. Not what they gave up for him. Austin Jackson for Tunsil, run it. That don't even make sense. See, Houston's trying to get draft capital, y'all. Ball game said I wouldn't rule anything out at this point. Good point. Good point. Man, that would be crazy, honestly. Y'all got me stuck on that. But yeah, man, I just saw a comment I wanted to respond on, but it went by so fast. Laremy Tunsil, that would be crazy. No one is trying to trade with Houston. Everybody's trying to trade with Houston because they're purging their entire roster right now. Houston understands that they're about to be in rebuild mode. Anybody's tradable in Houston right now. You're crazy if you think that they're trying to build a team to win this year. Houston is trying to go into 2022, 2023 with as many draft picks as they possibly can, and they're trying to rebuild their franchise because they need to find a new franchise quarterback. That's a fact. Houston they're not even in rebuild mode yet. They're in pre-rebuild mode where they have to figure out a way to get rid of a lot of their assets so that they can accumulate draft capital to build something from the ground up. That's just the truth. They're not trying to make a team and bring in talent, this and that. They're trying to shed talent and take on bad contracts for teams if they have to, just to get stuff back and all of that. And give up some contracts that are expiring just to get capital and stuff. We'll see, man. Tunsil is not worth 20 plus million. Too many penalties. I remember, boy, they killed me about Tunsil, man. See, before I said Tunsil could get traded, I said we should trade him. That's the little secret that I haven't told y'all new subscribers. Before I said that Tunsil could get traded, I was on this campaign that we should trade him. And there, boy, they were bad at me. But I kept telling people, I said, we're about to go through a rebuild anyway. And he's going to cost 18, 19 million a year. I said, I'm not paying him no 18, 19 million a year. 16 maybe, but not no 18, 19. And everybody getting mad, pay the man. And I used to say, what if he wants 19? Well, that's different. That ain't what he wants. You don't know what he wants. I said, trade this man. And thank God the Texans stepped in and gave us an offer we couldn't refuse, because we ended up trading him, and the man got $22 million per year. And his mama negotiated his deal. That is a fact. His mama negotiated his deal. And he got $22 million a year. And here I was complaining about 18. I was estimating around 18 and felt that it was too high. And nobody said he getting 18. You don't know that. It might be 16. I'm telling y'all. And the man got 22. And y'all think this Xavien Howard thing is over? Y'all think this Xavien Howard thing is over? We're going to be right back in the same situation next season. Don't act like y'all ignoring the facts of what was said about Xavien Howard's deal. A part of the deal was the agreement that they would revisit his contract next offseason. Did y'all forget that little caveat in there? They came out and said a part of the agreement is that we would revisit his contract next season. And how old would he be then? Why are you wishing that on us, TD? I'm not wishing nothing. I'm not wishing it on us. It's inevitable. Just like I told you we would be in this situation anyway with X. It was inevitable. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. This is how it works. His agent's job is to get him money. Y'all do realize his new agent hasn't really made any money, right? Y'all do realize his new agent hasn't really made any money. And next year, his new agent looks to cash in when they get a new deal done, whether it's here in Miami or somewhere else. Man, we had somebody who donated. Let me read this. Shout out to Andrevius Shaw. Said, if we get Tunsil back for a fair deal, we need to have a Tunsil statue and make a 30 for 30 about the gas mask that changed our franchise. You know what? That is so underrated what you just said. The gas mask that changed the Dolphins franchise. That's real. That's even if Tua pans out and takes us to a Super Bowl, no matter how it happened, if we find any success in the next few years, if we want to be honest with ourselves, it was the gas mask that changed our franchise, that turned our franchise around. Because Laremy Tunsil was going to be a top 3 pick in the NFL. I've heard people say he was going number 1. Laremy Tunsil was going to be a top 3 pick in the NFL, and the gas mask resurfaced, and he just kept sliding. And we picked him up, and we got him. We got the steal of the century, and look at what he's turned into. Look at what Laremy Tunsil has turned into for us. Draft picks that we still haven't picked yet when you really think about what we flipped. Some of y'all do realize we still got draft picks from Laremy Tunsil. One way or another. It's crazy, man. One player can do that for you. One player can do that for you. But like Ball Game said, man, Miami has a plan, and we have to trust the process, right? That's something we haven't really been saying a lot lately because of all the chaos. Trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. We got to trust the process. And Bernard McKinney getting cut is a shocker, but We got to trust the process, right? Right? Somebody said, TD, what gas mask? See, that's what's crazy about it. Some of y'all don't even know what happened with Laremy Tunsil. And that's real. Some people don't even know what happened to him. And if you don't know about the gas mask, and it was what we say gas mask, he was basically having fun, and he had a gas mask on, and the substance was in the gas mask. So I guess he was smoking or whatever, and it was released by somebody late in the draft evaluation process, and all the general managers just got scared. Oh my gosh, he's a loose cannon. Oh my gosh, we can't draft him. He was going at the top. We can't do it. And everybody was just passing on him in the draft. Sure enough, Miami came to pick. We took Laremy Tunsil. So I'm appreciative of it because we benefited from it on the field and via trade. I heard it was his ex-girlfriend from LSU. He left her sophomore year, from what I remember. I've heard those rumors as well, but somebody tried to screw him over. And you know what? Let me tell you this too. A lot of people was talking trash about us drafting Laremy Tunsil. Oh, y'all got we had this and that and this. Did the man have one off the field issue in the NFL so far? What, he 5-6 years in now? I don't know. I don't lost track. Has he had a single issue in the NFL? Matter of fact, one of the best role models there could be in the NFL. And when he was on this team, the best role model you could have. Humble, talked with a level of respect, team guy, spoke with elegance, was about business, was a true freaking professional. And it's funny how people judge people so early off of something being young, having fun. People judge people for their adolescence and their youth and the things that they do that come and catch up with them. But yeah, don't forget they were young. These are young men. A lot of these guys in the NFL, y'all still have to understand, males mature a lot slower than females. Some of these guys, 27 years old, out here making mistakes, being immature. They're still young men trying to figure out life and don't get to the point where all this money thrown in their way, so they really out here making mistakes. They really out here making mistakes. Simple little mistakes. Get them caught up. They're immaturities, man. And it's not an excuse, but the reality, y'all, let's be humble for a second. These are still young men coming out of college, getting a celebrity, becoming celebrities, making tons of money. That is like food for immaturity. Making small little mistakes, man, and people like murder them. They murder them when they make a mistake or they do something wrong. But that's what it is, man. That's what it is. And that little fun that Laremy Tunsil had, whatever night or day that was at that party, that's so, to me, and on top of it, is so minor. And when he got to the Dolphins, you know how many people were literally bad mouthing him, like, "Oh, we got this pothead. Oh, he'll be out of the league in a year. He's tread this and that and this." One of the best professionals I've ever seen in a Dolphin uniform, and nobody can say otherwise. Laremy Tunsil was, matter of fact, he was the leader. He was our leader. I want y'all to think about that. He was our leader. Carried himself the right way and all, man. It's crazy, man. Oh, man. I'm perfectly happy with Tua in 2021. Hopefully, he performs. If the Dolphins do go after Watson, what is the right? Oh man, it went by so fast. What is the right price? Watson is undeniably talented. I don't want to believe we gave up on Tua. We're not giving up on Tua. And on top of us not giving up on Tua, the right price for Watson is any price that has contingent picks. That if something does happen where suspension or it gets worse, we get picks back. It's that simple. And it's not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to happen. Houston is on their high horse. They are not letting go of their asking price. And the Dolphins aren't crazy, and we're not going to pay that asking price. So good job, Chris Grier. Great job, Chris Grier. We ain't desperate. Tua's making improvement. We are not desperate. We are not desperate. I've been the main one that keep telling y'all only way I would even want him is if it was for a steal. Sean Tunsil said, thank you, TD. Nah, thank Laremy, man. You're a true stand-up guy, man. True stand-up guy. And I appreciate you sending me his autograph, by the way, man. I appreciate that so much. Flores knows what he's doing. I'm sure he does, and we hope so. We hope so. Tua will never be as good as Watson, TD. Yeah, we don't know that. I mean, if I were like a regularly betting man, I can't say I'm not because I'll make a little wager here and there. If I was to bet it, of course I would say no, but you never know. You never know. 2 years ago, we would have been able to say Josh Allen will never be as good as Watson. He's just about right there, almost right there. He's almost right there. Almost. But sure, he has definitely closed that gap. Sure has closed that gap. So you never know. The only thing that doesn't work in Tua's favor, he'll never have see, I'm saying never. You don't know, but there's some superior guys in this league, and Watson's one of them on the field. Throw the ball 60 yards on the run, on the dime without hesitation, all that good stuff, man. The speed, the 4.5 speed at the quarterback position. And that's something Tua can't get faster. You can't get faster at this point. See, these are things that you just can't get faster. Though all of those elements matter. But that don't mean what we have ain't good enough. It's good enough. All right. Tua gonna be all right, B. No, I know Tua's gonna be all right. I think people need to understand they're arguing something that's mute. I don't think other than the haters, but like for me, I'm not saying that Tua's a problem. Tua has improved. They like his improvement. The problem that people have is thinking that wanting Watson means that we're saying Tua's not good. That couldn't be further from the truth. Wanting Watson does not mean that people view Tua in a negative way. It just doesn't. It really doesn't. That's like having Tom Brady and Baker Mayfield. Two good quarterbacks, but you'd want Tom Brady. You know? That's how it works. So people they got to realize it's not an indictment on Tua. There's just somebody's okay, let me put it like this. People who love Tua and get in their feelings about him, just know this. He's not the best quarterback in the NFL. Accept that. And I know you want him to be, but he's not the best quarterback in the NFL, and it is going to be really hard for him to become it. I'm just being honest. And I know you want him to be. But if we're really going to sit here and be honest with ourselves, I'm not sure if he would ever be better than Patrick Mahomes. He can be great, but there's different levels to this. There are different levels to this. If one quarterback has a superior arm, it's a beautiful thing that Tua has a superior arm with them. But one of them run a 4.5, Tua will never run a 4.5, which is a whole nother element to your game as a quarterback. There's different levels to this, man. Different levels. And that's not a knock on Tua, but there are limitations. And the sooner we admit that, the better off. Curtis Williams said, we just not used to winning, TD, so we may question some decisions, but I'm with whatever Flo is with. I agree. We're not used to a lot of stuff. That's why the fans are reacting the way they reacted. That's exactly why they reacted the way that they reacted. Somebody said he don't need to run a 4.5. Have y'all not seen him wiggle in the pocket? He gets it done. See, this is what I'm talking about. I agree. He doesn't need to run a 4.5. But you give me a quarterback that does everything he does and run a 4.5, that's a whole nother element to the game. It's a whole nother element to the game. So since he doesn't run a 4.5, he may wiggle in the pocket, get out, and get you 10 yards. But that quarterback that run the 4.5, he may wiggle out of the pocket, go forward, and get you 25 yards. It's a whole nother element to the game. Imagine Lamar Jackson with the ability to throw like Aaron Rodgers. A whole another element to the game. Oh, that'd be sick. Imagine Lamar Jackson with Aaron Rodgers throwing ability. That's what I'm talking about. Whole nother element to the game, man. Somebody said, but who has all that? No one, honestly. Deshaun freaking Watson does. That's what y'all ain't getting. Deshaun Watson does. So we keep trying to explain to y'all, he got it all. And this ain't even about getting him, just stating the facts. He got it all. Well, no one has all of that. He does. Body strength to get tackles off of him. Speed to make plays with his legs. Speed to avoid the pressure. An arm that's unrivaled in many cases. Can make every single throw on the field and do it on the run, left or right. Running left or right. He got the full freaking package. See, y'all be quick to justify, well, TD, no quarterback can. Yeah, he does. Why you think everybody even talking about this, man? That's what matters the most, man. That's why this is even relevant, because of how good he is on the football field. If he was average, nobody'd be having this conversation. Somebody said not the brains, TD. Off the football field, you could argue that, but on the football field, you can't say he ain't got the brains. There's a difference. There is a difference. There is a difference. We'll see, man. But yeah, that's what you're faced with. One of the things that's been bothering me lately, deep down inside, Buffalo has gotten better on defense, but they still ain't great on defense. But their offense is a powerhouse. And our strength is defense. But you can only hold a great offense down but so long. And that makes me feel very competitive in that situation. New England, they're more well-rounded than people think. And I got to be honest with y'all, Mac Jones looks phenomenal. Some of y'all may be mad at me, but Mac Jones looks phenomenal. This man out here in scrimmages going 17 for 17 against another team. I mean, and you see him in the preseason games. He looks, oh my gosh, what I'm not liking is, don't tell me that they done got them their next Brady. And this is Tua's year. This is Tua's opportunity to prove how great he is. This is it. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll be honest with y'all, all these watching rumors this year has made it even worse for him this year. Why? Because I've always said Tua's going to be a year 3 guy. You have to ball out this year or you won't make it to year 3 with the Miami Dolphins. What about Drew Lock to the Fins? No. Somebody said, TD, stop. Nobody plays their best defense. It's vanilla defense. Come on, TD. These rookies will look a lot different when the season starts. That's interesting you say that. Are you applying that same thing with Tua in these preseason games? Because some of y'all same people been raving about how Tua's played in preseason, right? If we're going to use that approach, then I'm really going to scream to the top of my lungs. Tua ain't proved nothing. Tua ain't proved nothing yet. Why we all gung-ho feeling like he the future when he ain't proved nothing yet? Somebody said Tua ain't a rookie. Oh, but ain't that the excuse everybody been using? This is really like his rookie season because he only played 9 games. So what are you talking about? Y'all keep moving the goalposts. And on top of it, when it come to Mac Jones, I wasn't even talking about the preseason games. I'm talking about the scrimmages against the other teams. Y'all do know in practice, the starters have been playing from almost every team in the NFL, right? Maybe not in the preseason games, but in the practices, the joint practices against other teams, y'all do know the starters have been playing, right? And Mac Jones out there ripping them. Good defenses. And we so excited about Tua Tagovailoa in preseason when I'm going to say something that's going to get a lot of y'all mad. But in preseason, I can make an argument that every starting AFC East quarterback could be argued that they even played better. They showed a little more, even with the high completion percentages of the dinks and dunks. And now this is where I'm keeping it 1,000. We saw a whole bunch of complete dinks and dunks in one 25-yard pass in each game. Talk to me, somebody. We saw a whole bunch of dinks and dunks in the first preseason game. A whole bunch of dinks and dunks and one 30-yard pass to Gesicki. Second preseason game, a whole bunch of dinks and dunks and one 25-yard pass to Gesicki. If I'm supposed to keep it 1,000 and keep it real with y'all, and the only reason I'm doing this right now because y'all asked for it. Y'all trying to diminish the other quarterbacks in the AFC East when they have been out here throwing dimes for 30, 40, and 50 yards on several occasions in the preseason, making it look easy. If I'm supposed to keep it 1,000 with y'all. So y'all should be careful trying to diminish other people's talent just to make yours look better. We could stay talking about ours and you ain't got to hear the cold hard truth. That's what I prefer to do. But when y'all start coming out just because I say Mac Jones actually looked really good, I'm being objective, trying to have a real conversation. And some of y'all getting y'all feelings that Mac Jones, I said Mac Jones looked good. Now you're trying to say the man is going to be a bum. Hey, you going to automatically write him in as a bum when since he came in the NFL in practices, he's proved to look good? Dolphin 82 said, which proves my point. Everything is vanilla. Can't judge until season starts. Exactly. And I'm with that. They might get in the regular season and look like trash, but so might our quarterback. That's just the truth. Mac Jones might get in the regular season look like boo-boo. Tua might. Zach Wilson might. All of them might. But time always tells. But don't sit here and stop writing this narrative for your guy. Just for your guy. If we're going to talk real football, we need to talk about the real state of this team. We talk about the real state of this team and what's really going on so we'll understand how we truly stack up in the AFC East. We want to take the throne. We want to be number one. Then let's start telling the truth. Let's start talking about what we really concerned about with this roster and this team. This Bernard McKinney cut concerns me. It concerns me. DM Fins Up said TD switch every damn day. He confused, bro. You got to tell me, put it like this. In my quote unquote switch ups every day, tell me what I'm saying that ain't true. Just because I give you the good and the bad, that's switching up? No, that's me telling the truth. Keeping it 1,000. This is good, but I'm worried about that. I love the improvement I see in Tua one day. I'm talking to y'all one day about I love the improvement I see in Tua. It's definitely better than last year. And the next day, he still ain't proved nothing. You think improvement from last year is saying much? It still has to be translated in the regular season on the field. I can marvel all I want about the improvements I've seen in training camp. But we've seen this story before. We've seen great play in training camp and boo-boo trash in regular season. We've seen boo-boo trash in regular season and great play in training training camp, whatever, vice versa. We've been here. We've done this before. Huge Bills fan, and I agree. Mac Jones looks good. Carry the same facts for Tua. I believe if you trade for Watson, it takes future from up and coming teams. It's taking future from up and coming teams. I told y'all what I forgot who it was, man. I don't know if it was Salguera or one of our beat writers. He spoke to a general manager in the AFC East Saturday. And he asked that general manager, how do you feel about the Dolphins? One of our own AFC East general managers said, I like what they're doing. I see them. I see what they're doing. I respect them, but we don't fear them. And then he asked them, what if they got Watson? He said, that wouldn't be good for us. Them, in other words, that team. So I get it. But at the same token, I'm actually hopeful that Tua gets the opportunity to prove that it ain't good for everybody else. That he comes out, he lights people on fire. He lights it up, and he's just destroying teams. And here's the sad part about it. And yes, I'm admittedly saying that this is sad. Tua's going to be on such a short leash. He's going to be on such a short leash. Why do I say that? Because this fan base is going to get furious real fast if things don't start looking like that's the problem with the Tua situation. He's not even going to have time to get his feet wet. First game, New England. First of all, don't let Mac Jones be the starter and they beat us. Don't let Mac Jones be the starter and they beat us. Be honest, Dolphin fans. What y'all think gonna happen? What do y'all think gonna happen if Mac Jones is the starter and they beat us? Then you got Buffalo. What happens if we start 0-2? What you think the fan base is gonna be saying? Who you think they're going to be pointing at the whole time? Unless he's playing so great and our defense is just giving up points. Crazy, left and right. And we all know that ain't likely to happen. It ain't likely to happen. And Ball Game just said it's likely Belichick is a better coach. But guess what? Tua ain't going to get the luxury of anybody even thinking like that. That's the point I'm making here. It can happen for so many other reasons, but at the end of the day, who you think gonna get most of the blame this year? Everybody already setting a parameter. Anything under 11 wins, it's a failure. Who you think that's gonna fall on? And do y'all realize 11 wins may not even get you in the playoffs? 10 ain't get you in last year, and they added a game. 11 may not get you in. Do you know that you have to win 12 games to get in the playoffs? 12 out of 17. You cannot lose more than 5 games. And I got to be honest with y'all, when you really think about it, it's just not easy. Winning 12 games is not easy. It just isn't. It never has been. And I know there's some teams that do it every year at ease. But them teams also have elite quarterback play. So we win 12 games. I am calling on everybody to give Tua the utmost respect that he deserves, because that is going to be a gauntlet of a task. If we get 12 games, I don't care how it happened. He could play trash. He deserves credit. It is not going to be easy, y'all. It's not. You know how many quarterbacks should only dream to have this kind of defense and the type of weapons that we have? Nine games, somebody getting fired, whether it's a player or a coach or a general manager. 9 or less, somebody getting fired. 10, they in a middle ground that they scratching their head trying to figure out. 11, and you don't make it, it's the same as last year. You won one more because they added a game. The pressure is on that young man this year. There ain't no question about it. The pressure is on him. Ain't no question about it. Y'all expected Tua to fail. Who expected him to fail? I expected him to be great, lead us to the playoffs, and do great things. I'm just waiting on him to prove that. I don't expect him to fail. I expect great things. And if he comes short of those great things, we talk about it. And I get called a hater for doing it. It is what it is. Can care less. Quince with the donation said, Watson puts us in another hemisphere. 20 years of wanting a franchise quarterback, and people are actually debating whether we should trade for Watson. Shaking my head. I would agree with that if there were no legal issues. I would literally call people to their face stupid if there weren't legal issues. But I can understand those who have reservations for that very reason. I get that. But if we're talking strictly football, just straight up football, and there was no issues, people really would need to go see a shrink. Big time. Ball Game said the pressure is on them all. This team has to learn how to win the games. They aren't expected to win. Yeah, I agree. But still, from a fan base, the pressure is on them all. But from a fan base standpoint, nobody care about the injury. See, from a fan base standpoint, Ball Game, nobody care about the intricacies of who it really falls on. Let's just be 1,000. It's going to fall on Tua or somebody in that front office, period. You think the Watson talk and all this craziness out here is bad now? Yeah. Yeah. Lose them first 2 games. See what happened. And then I don't even know about game 3 and 4, but lose to the Bucs, which most people are going to expect. At best, you start 2 and 3. Yeah. 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 We're going to have one of the most controversial seasons ever. It's going to be fussing and arguing and fighting every week. Every week. Watson with this speed and defense is a Super Bowl team, hands down. Listen, man, I think everybody knows that already. I know I keep on reading comments like that. Everybody knows. This ain't even about Watson right now. Let's just take Watson out of the equation, y'all. Take him out of the equation. Right now, we got Tua Tagovailoa. That is our starting quarterback. We riding with him, but the pressure is on him. The pressure is on him. Big time. Ball Game said, I already said they're going to start 3 and 3. Woo! 3 and 3, 6 games in. 11 games left, and you need 9 wins out of 11? You see what I'm talking about? If you believe they're going to start 3 and 3, which means they got to end the season 9 and 2, boy, they got to finish the rest of the season 9 and 2. The pressure is on. That's all I'm going to say. The pressure will be on. And even if they start 3 and 3, I'm telling you, people are going to be going crazy. People are going to be having a lot to say. It's sad to see so much hate for the QB that they haven't even given a chance. Buffalo took a risk QB worth it. Tua going to ball out. Josh Allen MVP. Man, let me say this. It's sad to see so much hate for the QB. I don't think people are hating. That's my point. They're just calling what they believe. Now, don't get me wrong. The people in the comment section, oh, Tua sucks. He got a blah, blah, blah. Now, yeah, they hating. I get that. You know, I've had moments. I get those comments. But we can't be calling people who just don't believe in him haters. Now, the people who say he just suck and already writing his future, what he going to be, that's unfair. Nah, there's hate, TD. Yeah, I know there is. I didn't say there wasn't. I'm just saying. Let's make sure we ain't bucketing everything is hate. Trade Tua to the Saints. He's our franchise quarterback. Why would we trade him unless we got another one? TD needs a refill. Yeah, I'm not gonna refill it though, because I'm gonna put a little in. My ice is kind of melting. I love ice water, man. I just love ice water, but I don't like it whenever no ice in it. So, oh man, TD, what's the pressure like on Watson and Flores if they make the trade? What's the pressure like? Here's the flip. That's a great question you asked. Here's the flip of that. There will be no pressure because everybody would be relaxed. From a straight football standpoint, X's and O's and on the field, just focus on that only. Everything would relax. Everybody would say, man, we got a top 10 defense. We got a top 5 quarterback who has weapons, who can make up for an average O-line if the O-line is average. And it's time for Gaskins to get off. Everybody will relax. They would relax. Just chill and feel confident and happy. Now, we know who wouldn't be happy, and we know why. So, the pressure, you think Watson's going to feel pressure? That man is just that good. He's going to go out there and do him. We know that we would go to the playoffs. We know that we would. That's the whole point of the matter. Right now, we don't know. I'm optimistic. Hell, we're going to win every game, you ask me. We win in every game with Tua. That's right. Would you trade for Watson if he has 10-game suspension? Once again, Noel, the whole trade conversation about Watson only depends on what the compensation is. It's not a matter of would you trade for Watson. There's 32 teams in the NFL. 24 of them would trade for Watson if they knew the finalized situation. Then they would ask, what's the compensation? What are you asking for? So if he gets suspended 10 games, you got to understand, it's not about this season for whoever wanted to trade for him. It's about acquiring a top 5 quarterback and hoping you can keep him on the roster for the next 15 years. It's not about one season. If his stuff settled right now and the NFL said you are suspended for the whole season, you gonna get, like, literally, if all his situation got settled and he not going to prison and all that stuff people saying, right? All of that got settled, but the NFL came and hit him hard and say, we're suspending you for an entire season. Bet you have 10 teams lined up making offers because at least they know what it is now. I bet you'd have 10 teams lined up ASAP. Others calling just to see. Because it's not about the 1 year. These GMs don't care about 1 year to acquire a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Something that doesn't. Do y'all understand how often you have that opportunity? Do you know how many teams have had 21 quarterbacks since the year 2000? Raise your hand, Dolphin fans. More than that, actually, now. That was last year. It was like 21 in the last 20 years. Raise your hand, Dolphin fans. But there are other teams that have had tons of quarterbacks and just can't find that one. Just can't find that one. But again, you don't know what the outcome of this situation is. That's why teams want contingent draft picks so that if he gets locked up or he's suspended, then they get some of the draft picks back. But Houston said no. So that's why I'm telling y'all now, Miami's not trading for Deshaun Watson. They're not trading for him unless they come out, unless they say, okay, we'll do contingent picks. But they've made it clear they don't want to. So it looks like he's about to make $10 million this year sitting on a bench or sitting at home. He's about to make the easiest money in his life. And that's the crazy thing. Does people realize you know what's crazy about all this? He's winning in this situation. I just thought about that. It's a win-win situation for him, at least now, unless things just turn south. But it is a win-win. This man probably this year is going to make 10 point something million dollars and ain't got a budge. And may not have to do nothing. And people got to understand, even if the league decided to come out and say, we're putting you on the commissioner's exempt list, he still makes his 10 point something million dollars. Ball game said, I can't believe people are raving over Sinet, shaking my head. Do you know somebody was trying to make that point with me today? They said, why won't we just play Sinet? If that's the case, if you want to give up on Tua, then why don't we just move forward and develop Sinet? Sinet played against some 4th and 5th stringers, and we out here making this man look like the next Dan Marino. Now, kudos to Reed Sinet. He made it a great, entertaining game. But whoever think he would be doing that against starting defenses in the NFL need to stop that mess. And I ain't trying to insult that man. I've seen some good stuff from him at times. I've seen some really good stuff from Reed Sinet at times. But y'all stop. We are trying to develop him to be the Ryan Fitzpatrick and Jacoby Brissett of the world. Not quite them, but be the guy who can be a really good backup for years to come. That's what we're trying to develop him into. So next year, if Tua's balling out and he's QB1, ain't going to be no more Jacobys and guys like that on the roster. It is going to be Reed Sinet and another guy that's not even as good as Reed Sinet. So Reed Sinet can start getting quality second team reps all season. You go to practice now, you see Tua getting reps, Jacoby Brissett getting reps, Reed Sinet on occasions. And next year, he needs to be the guy that's getting a large amount of the second team reps, period. That's what they're developing him for. And it's guys like that, when you get your second team reps and you become a really good high quality backup, if your quarterback ever goes down and gets hurt, this is the shot you've been waiting for your whole career. That may not happen for 6-7 years, but that's the shot guys like him wait on. I've been sitting in this position as a backup for 4, 5, 6 years. Now we got a major injury to the quarterback. They're going to rely on me. And if he balls out, now he could go be a starter on another team potentially. But a lot of things got to go right for stuff like that to happen. So y'all stop with this Reed Sinet. Well, Reed Sinet played well. Maybe he should be, consider him as the future as the backup if Tua don't work out. Stop. Stop that mess, y'all. We got to do better than that. We got to do better than that. Man, wow, we got 713 people watching, but we only got 347 likes. Y'all push that like button, man. We up pretty late right now, 10:45. But hey, man, Bernard McKinney, that situation ain't the end of the world. Tomorrow at 4:00, we got the final cuts. They'll be coming in all morning. TD, we've been waiting for Watson for 20 years. Nah, we just been waiting on a great quarterback for 20 years. And the truth is, we might already have him in Tua Tagovailoa. If you're a real fan like me and you're not all in your feelings, the only thing you're doing is just waiting on him to prove that he's that guy. And that is fair. Don't let these other people bully y'all out of making fair statements like that. The fairest statement that I can make about Tua Tagovailoa is that I'm supporting him. I believe he can be great. I just need him to go out there and prove it for me. And until that happens, there's nothing wrong with having a little skepticism. Ain't nothing wrong with saying, maybe he's not the guy, because at the end of the day, it's every player's job to prove that they are the guy. And we have this new environment in today's world where nobody has to prove anything. Nobody got to prove nothing. Just get behind them and blindly say they are. That's what we're required to do now. Nah, I don't rock like that. I ain't finna be no fanboy. Now, don't get me wrong. I want to be a fanboy, but I'm only fanboys to people that I believe in. And Tua Tagovailoa has to prove it first. Preseason, me seeing improvement ain't proving. Improving is not proving. Let me say that one more time. Showing improvement is not proving. Week 1, New England Patriots. Go have a good game. I ain't even saying great. Go have a good game. Don't be the reason we lose. Don't contribute to the loss. We can lose. It's going to be a tough battle. We can lose, but don't contribute to it. That's all I have ever asked for my quarterback. Don't contribute in the loss. Show that you tried to help us win. Third down, hike the ball, throw the quick slant. You threw it in the dirt, you're contributing to a loss. Third down, holding the ball too long, sack. Contribution. Third down, throws a beautiful strike across the middle, first down. Contribute to the victory. Don't be the reason we lose, and don't be a contributor to a loss. That's all I've ever asked of my quarterback. That's all I've ever asked. Defense was trash today. Offense put up 24 points, but the defense was trash. Okay, that ain't on the quarterback. But I don't want no games where our defense held another team to 17 and we lost. Nope. I expect my quarterback to get more than 17 points a game. Easy. There was no QB competition. We just gave him the role. Now he needs to prove it. Prove it first. Well, I'm gonna actually disagree with that, Mike. Tua played better than Jacoby Brissett in camp, and I just think that we didn't feel like it was a competition because y'all got to remember last year, Fitch just looked leaps and bounds better than Rosen and Tua. It was a no-brainer in camp, at least. It was a no-brainer. So that's why it was a competition and Fitch won it. But Brissett ain't looking leaps and bounds better than Tua, if he's even looking better. He's not. Tua looked better than Brissett. But a lot of people ask some really interesting questions. With the Tua that you saw in camp this year, did he look better than Ryan Fitzpatrick in camp last year? I can't say that. But at the same token, that's where you got the improvement. Last year, you could have said it hands down, easy. This year, so if Fitch was on this roster now and he played just as good as he did in camp last year, would Tua have beat him out? It would have been a controversy, but Tua would have got the nod to start week 1. And that's improvement. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. even without his receivers, all of them. See, this is where when you make comments like that, that's where I go back into that little bubble where people get mad at me. That's what has me concerned. That is my only reservation, and I've been trying my best not to say it. Okay, so I'm about to say it, and y'all have heard it before, but I don't say it much because I'm trying to be optimistic about Tua. But here's where I put my critical hat on, where I'm just critical of him, right? They said without the weapons. I am telling y'all. They ran 90% zone in camp against Tua Tagovailoa. And I went there myself for 5 training camp days and watched him just rip the defense apart in zone. Just guys running in the zone, turning around, completions all over the field. Waddle navigating through the zone, hitting them. And my biggest concern is I feel like they have not given him enough practice against his weakest area. And that is sending pressure and running man-to-man tight coverage at the same time. So I don't want to hear y'all talk about Tua's great under pressure. Tua's great in man-to-man. No, the combination of both of them together is where he struggles. And I haven't seen any of that. And guess when one of the first times they ever ran it? Last Tuesday. I wasn't at practice, but I had one of my guys call me after practice who's in the organization. They were like, man, you should have been there today. They gave you exactly what you've been asking for. Byron Jones, Xavien Howard, all the starters on defense was out there. They literally played man-to-man and sent pressure all day. And that was the day Tua had his worst day in practice. I don't know if y'all remember that last week, Tuesday, that first day of practice. And that is my biggest concern. So I have confidence we're going to win some games because a lot of teams don't have the personnel to run man like that. They're going to play zone. But my biggest fear is doing so good just to run into a team that gives him his weakness and he folds in that moment. And there you have it. Season over. It's that Josh Allen effect to me. Playing like a great quarterback, just eating people up, especially mostly everybody running zone against you. Mostly everybody running zone against you. You're just eating it up. Then you run into that one juggernaut that's man-to-man sending pressure, got you looking trash that one game that sends you home. That sends you home. So Brandon said Josh Allen MVP. That's what I'm talking about. We praise our MVPs that ball out all season. Then that one team that schemes to your weakness, they look like trash. But we don't care about that. He still balled out all year. Got nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for it. Nothing. Somebody said, did he have all his weapons? Sure did. That was the day all them boys dressed up. I want you to think about that. When did they all come back? They came back like 3 days before that. Y'all remember that weekend where they played limited snaps in the game, but they practiced at the end of the week? And then that next Monday, he had his receivers. I mean, they went at it that day. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We're going to be without Will Fuller week 1. We also got to think about that. And another thing I don't like too is I personally don't even feel like Tua has great chemistry with Will Fuller, Devontae Parker, in them guys right now. They haven't even gotten a lot of work in together all camp. Just my thought. See, if everyone is healthy, do you think we beat Baltimore Ravens this year based off of the defense from last Tuesday's practice? Yes, we should, but here's the problem. See, Baltimore, see, we could shut them all down all day, but let's not sit here and act like they don't have a decent defense, you know? They got a good defense too. At the end of the day, let's just call a spade, ladies and gentlemen. We got to put up points. We can't sit here and always rely on our defense. You know, that's our go-to right now. And we got a good defense too. At some point, y'all got to realize you're not going to be able to rely on them forever. There's going to be games where they get toasted. And we need our offense to be the reason. Buffalo defense was getting toasted sometimes last year, but they offense held up. They offense held up. We got to stop making it seem like our defense has to be lights out every game. It's going to be so unfair. There's games where our offense is going to have to do it all. TD, this is the second live you skipped my super chat question. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see. Did I miss a super chat? I don't see a super chat. I'm so sorry about that. I didn't think I saw it. This is the Kata. I guess, do you want to put it in the comment section again? I'm sorry for missing it. Didn't mean to. I try to read all of them. Copy it and paste it, I guess. That way I'll be able to check it out. I'm actually going to see if I can find it though. You said you guys are, oh my gosh, I can't read the whole thing. It's cut off for me. Let me see. 1 second. You guys overanalyze Tua too harsh. As a fan of football, not just the Dolphins, you should understand his injury is not an excuse. It's a reason. This is the same injury that ended Bo Jackson's career. All right, so let me address that super chat. So first off, let's run this one backwards. This is the same injury that ended Bo Jackson's career. Great point you make there. Let me keep going. You said as a fan of football, not just the Dolphins, you should understand his injury is not an excuse. It's a reason. Who cares? Who cares? You had an injury. It's a reason for what? His play last year or his play for the future to come? It's a reason for what? We criticize him. We analyze Tua too harsh. What do you mean we analyze him too harsh? He didn't have the greatest season last year. He was coming back from an injury. That's fine. The only analysis that I'm giving of Tua Tagovailoa is the simple fact that he has to prove it this year. Is his hip still a factor this year too? Because if it's still a factor this year, then that means it's going to be a factor for the rest of his career. And we need to move on for sure then. If it's not an excuse, it's a reason. I'm not looking at it as an excuse. I don't say his hip is an excuse. It is. It might have been a reason for parts of what he did last year, but that doesn't excuse the fact that he has to prove it this year. You don't just get an automatic pass. You're going to be the king because your hip is healed now. You don't get a, hey, your hip is healed. Here's your card that you're the king and the best player alive now. He still got to go prove it. But if it's something that's still an issue, then they need to definitely move on. If we talk about a lingering hip issue that's a reason, then we definitely need to move on. But I think the hip is behind us now, And all we're doing when we analyze Tua is say he got to prove it. Here's his chance. He's up. His opportunity is right here in front of us. Right here in front of us. We're about to find out. And guess what? He can make this real easy by just going out and balling out. So everybody can say, you know what? Tua turned the corner. He is that dude. Wow. We got our franchise quarterback. We got our franchise quarterback. Yeah. That's all he got to do. But for some reason, not you, but for some reason, a lot of people don't even like that. They don't even want him to have to go out and ball out. They just want us to automatically feel like Tua is automatic. It's automatic. You got to root for him and say he's going to be the greatest ever automatic without proving it. Without proving it. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Do y'all realize that all of this, Watson wouldn't even be a conversation when he proves it? We don't have to get mad at each other on who's right and who's wrong. Guess what? Tua can shut everybody up. And shout out to the homie. Just sent me a message, said the most profound thing that I've heard tonight. We know nothing when it comes to Tua. We just assume and hope. It don't get more factual than that. We don't know nothing when it comes to Tua this year. We're just assuming and hoping. Now it's his job to answer the question. It's his job to tell us what we need to know. And guess what? We listening. We're listening. 4 p.m. Sunday, less than 2 weeks away. We're going to try to hear him loud and clear. Do you believe? Do you believe that he's going to speak to us? That's all that matters. Do you believe that you're going to hear from him? And if you believe you're going to hear from him, then stop arguing with people. Tell them. Time will tell. Tell them, y'all about to see. That's it. Don't argue with him. Because if he don't show up, that's my only thing. That's the only thing that I don't like. If he doesn't show up and show out, y'all be the quietest ones. Y'all don't come back and say, man, I'm a little concerned now. You put your blinders on like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Well, let me evaluate the rest of the team and see how they impacted him. Like y'all go automatically into this defense mode about it didn't look good from Tua, but it had to be a logical reason. Let me look at how did the O-line do? But the running backs didn't run well. Well, the defense gave up too much. It's that simple. TD, why are you so angry? You've changed. You think I'm angry, bro? I'm having fun. I'm talking to people, man. I've changed, huh? Well, how long you been subscribed to this channel? How long have you been subscribed to this channel? I guess that's the better question to ask. All right. But no, I'm just calling it how I see it. And I'm trying to help some people who have this one-way bias in their mind. They only see one way, and it's blinding them. It's blinding them. He said a year plus. So you've been here a year plus, and this is the first time you've heard me like this. Well, you need to start watching more often. TD just loves to criticize Tua for some reason. Well, that's ABAB. I expect that from you. You say that every chance you get when you come in here. And can't never tell me what criticism that I say of Tua. Every time AB come in here and say TD just always criticizing Tua. How did I criticize him, AB? And he can't respond with a clear answer. He can't respond. See, it's them people that just throw out these little random comments just to feel better about the point that I'm making, to try to rebut it. I'll be looking forward to AB telling me, what did I say that was criticizing him? See, this is his response. He don't tell me what I said to criticize him. He called on everybody else to try to bail him out. He says, people on the chat, am I lying that he loves to criticize Tua? Y'all see what I'm talking about? He couldn't tell us how I criticized him. So he said, people in the chat, am I lying? He's trying to reach out to the rest of y'all Tuaneers to just say, yeah, he does. You're not lying. But they can't even tell me. And then he replies, I will tell you, TD. You could have just told me in that message where you said you would tell me. Y'all see what I'm talking about? This is what I deal with. These are the people that's in the comment section. They have no answer. They just don't like what they're hearing because it's against what they want to be the truth. So they say general things like, you just want to criticize Tua. Tell me the one thing that I said to criticize him. And then make sure you know what the definition of criticize is. You want to put all this pressure on Tua after 9 games. AB, I'm still waiting on how I criticized him. Putting pressure on him after 9 games ain't criticizing him. That's why I said you might want to check to make sure you know what the definition of criticizing is. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. I'm done with that. All right. TD's attitude has changed after the first week of preseason. I think he's given Tua plenty of respect lately. Thank you, Philip. I'm glad you noticed that. You know why? I actually told myself I am going to try my very best to get behind Tua and have some level of blindness to support him in a way where I stop worrying about my concerns. It's only moments like this where I open up the bag of concerns when they try to down other people just to lift him up. I have made a concerted effort to make sure that I overly give him props when he deserves it. Tua looks great today. I come on. He didn't look great. He looked the best. Intentionally trying to make sure that I'm giving him the credit he deserves. But when you come and say one thing factual that ain't in line with what they want to hear, they getting all sensitive. They get all sensitive. Oh, you always criticizing Tua. And don't even know the definition of the word criticize. Here's how you're criticizing him. You're putting all these expectations on him after 9 games. That's not criticism. That's not criticism. And what some of y'all need to realize, and this is why I'm finna check some of y'all, what some of y'all really need to realize, I'm such a fan of Tua Tagovailoa. That's why I nitpick everything. That's what some of y'all don't realize. I just want my quarterback to be great. I want my quarterback to be great. I want to be able to say, he don't do this well, he don't do that well, he don't do that well, and I get to appreciate seeing how he improved it over the years. I get to appreciate it. I'm not going to sit here and go in blind and see this flaw, and this flaw, and be like, he ain't got no flaws, my guy's the guy. How could I ever appreciate growth that way? How could I ever appreciate his growth that way? You don't even understand how much I like Tua Tagovailoa. You don't even understand the respect that I have for Tua Tagovailoa. But I learned my lesson from Ryan Tannehill. I can love you, I can like you, but I am not going to give you something you ain't earned yet. See, on this channel, everybody had no problem telling me how ridiculous I was supporting Ryan Tannehill. and I'm not objective. I'm not calling it how it is. But then when I do it with Tua Tagovailoa, the world stops spinning. The world stops spinning. I don't even understand this notion. First of all, I didn't criticize Tua, but you know the funny thing about it? You're supposed to be critical of everybody on this team. You're supposed to be critical. You want to see him get better, so you're critical. TD, I believe fans are fans and players. Fans are fans of players and not the team because of what we've been through in the past 20 years. No confidence in the organization is outright no, but I understand. I mean, of course, you're gonna have some of that. Dolphin 82. Some fans are fans of players and not teams. But what is this channel? What's the slogan of this channel? TD Fans Talk, home of what? Home of what? Home of what? The real Miami Dolphin fans. So let's get something straight. I don't care nothing about nobody that just like a player on the Dolphins. I don't care nothing about their opinion of this team. I don't care nothing about their thoughts of this team. This is the home of the real Miami Dolphins fans, not the real player fans. The real Dolphin fans. So that's what we actually got a lot of. People who like certain players, so they root for the Dolphins just to see their player succeed. But if their player, and we ain't just talking about Tua, but if their player is gone tomorrow, they gone too. It's just like me. I'm a Rajon Rondo fan. Wherever he go, I root for him. But at least I admit it, and I ain't making excuses for it. It is what it is. You think I'm a Lakers fan? No. But I like it. Rondo look like he might be signing back with him. I'm with Rondo. I get it. But I can admit that. See, some of them know that's how they feel, but they know that they don't want to admit it because they made it seem all this time like they real Dolphin fans. So when people try to check me, like real Dolphin fans try to check me, TD, chill out, man. We're all Dolphin fans. No, we not. No, we're not. Ladies and gentlemen of the Dolphins community, understand. All of these people rooting for the Dolphins are not Dolphin fans. They love a player they've been following since college, and that's what they're rooting for. It's them same people be in the comment section saying, I hope Tua, y'all just need to trade Tua so he could go be better somewhere else. It's some same people that say, I hope Tua, when his contract come out, he stick it to y'all and don't resign and go somewhere else and kick y'all behind. It's some same people. That's what it is. Well, let's get along. We're all Dolphin fans at the end of the day. That's what some of y'all missed the mark. No, we not. They in here posing. They in here posing. And the only reason they even stick around is because we talk to them and they getting a fix for the day of defending him. Some people make it a full-time job to make sure they come on this stream just so that they can get their fix for the day and defend their boy. Like I said, Tua is our franchise quarterback right now. Well, let me stop. I went too strong with franchise. He is our starting quarterback right now. And this is his opportunity this year to prove it. so that the entire fan base can get behind him, rally behind him, and say, let's go Tua finally, and put any speculation behind us when the whole fan base could get mad about any trade rumors for a quarterback. When we could shake our head, why? There's a reason why everybody ain't shaking, scratching their head like, why would they do that? There's a reason. And only one man can change that, and that's Tua Tagovailoa. And guess what? Y'all been asking for it. He's about to get his opportunity to do so. He's about to get his prime opportunity to change any narrative and eliminate any questions. And the funny thing is, why are some of y'all more nervous than he seems to be? But like I said, when all this started, Mac Jones looked good, man. Mac Jones looking good. I can't stand them Patriots and Bill Belichick. I hope he ain't got his franchise quarterback in Mac Jones. I hope he come out in the regular season and he's just trash. I really hope so. I hope so. That would be a disaster. That would be a disaster. Somebody says, so does Tua. I agree. Tua looked good this offseason. But we're just talking about first year. See, that's what some of y'all want to ignore as well. Day one coming in the league, there's some young guys coming in looking excellent. Day one. Which means that they already are proven to have a higher ceiling. That's what that typically means. When you come into the league playing at a certain level, that means your ceiling has risen. Day one. Don't mean they ever going to reach that ceiling, but it is risen. If you come in day one and you playing great, and you could digress from there. You can come in balling and then just start going downhill. It's all fair. All those scenarios can happen. TD, don't avoid the question. Are you excited for Tua? Didn't I say we going 17-0? What you think? What you think? I'm definitely excited for Tua. I believe he going to show up and show out. I need him to show up and show out. But he still got to prove it. What I want, what I believe, and what I need don't matter if he don't put it on the field. AB says 17-0 is silly. But AB, if we go 17-0, would it be silly that Tua's leading that? See, I say 17-0 and I'm silly. Why we can't win every game? We got a top defense. What would hold us back? You know what's funny about that? And I'm going to leave this whole thing alone and probably get up out of here. AB has a problem with me saying we're going to go 17-0. He says that's silly. So he has a problem with me blindly believing something. But yet he wants me to blindly believe that Tua is going to be great without proving anything. He has a problem with me feeling like we're going to go 17-0, but then has a problem if I don't feel like Tua is the king already. Can't make this up. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all hit that like button. We got 461 likes. Maybe we can get 500 likes on this video before we get out of here. Somebody said AB tripping. We going to the bowl 17-0 just to start. Listen, man, I believe it, man. I believe we can. If Tua plays great football, who can stop us? You see how that works, AB? If Tua plays top 10 quarterback football, who can stop us? Who can freaking stop us? Think about that. You get top quarterback play from Tua with a top defense with weapons. Who's going to stop the Dolphins? We're going to be scoring when we want to. We're going to be stopping people from scoring. And they asked me, are you excited about Tua? That's right, I am. Because if he play top level quarterback football, who can freaking stop us, man? And even if anybody does stop us, you can argue we're a top 5 team in the NFL. Even if somebody beat us, you can argue if Tua plays top quarterback level, top 10, I didn't even say top 5. I said top 10 quarterback football, we're a top 5 team in the NFL. We are a top 5 team in the NFL. We are contenders for the Super Bowl. Even if we don't win it, we are officially contenders if he plays top 10 quarterback football. Ball game said, TD, my son, said, what's up? What's up with you, man? Oh, what's up with me? What's up with you? Let's get this podcast, baby. Let's get this podcast going, man. But yeah, man. But I want you to answer that. AB said nobody believes we're top 5 in the NFL. I don't care what nobody believes, AB. What about you? If Tua plays top 10 quarterback football and the defense does do what they have to do, are we not a top 5 team in the NFL? I don't care what everybody else believes. What do you believe, AB? What do you believe? If Tua plays top quarterback football with this defense, are we a top 5 team in the NFL? Answer that. Answer that. It's that simple, man. That simple. And if you don't think we'd be, he said no, top 15, 10 to 15. Then if Tua plays top 10 quarterback level and we're 10 to 15, then they need to go and trade now. You see what I'm talking about? This is why I got to stop arguing with AB. I can't do it no more. I can't do it no more. If you're going to sit here and tell me if Tua plays top 10 quarterback football and the defense picks up where they left off last year in top 5, that we're not a top 10 team, you're saying 10 to 15, then you might well trade Tua now. You might as well trade Tua now. We got to bring in Watson in. We have to. We need top 5 quarterback play now. I'm done arguing with him. He just proved himself, period. I ain't arguing with him no more. Can't save everybody. Can't save everybody, man. Man. Anyway, man, I'm about to get up out of here, man. I was just kicking it with y'all for the last hour pretty much. We've been streaming for 2 hours. I've just been hanging out, answering questions, and going back and forth for the last hour. Yeah, we need 19 more likes, though. If y'all can give 19 more likes. But actually, we got 16 dislikes, so that's good, too. So technically, whether it's a dislike or a like, let's just get 3 more. And we'll reach 500 combined because it's about engagement. YouTube don't care how many likes versus dislikes. They just like engagement. There we go. We got 500 technically total. So that's perfect. All right. Chef Juice said, I believe we are, TD. If Tua have a year or 2 Marino numbers, we have a chance. I agree. And hopefully he does. Hopefully he does. Time will tell, man. But guess what? The clock is ticking. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. 10 days away, 11 days away, or something like that. It's ticking. It's coming. The season's about to start. Actually, like 13 days away, actually. I'm talking about the Thursday night game for 11 days. But anyway, man, I'm out of here. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fins up forever. Tomorrow we'll get the rest of the cuts. We'll have a final 53-man roster, which they're going to change that as well over the next 2 weeks. Like certain guys, they'll keep cutting and signing and cutting and signing. They always do that, man. But just wanting to hang out. Shout out to the homie AB. It's I see you, man. It's all in good love, man. Some of y'all who like TDs changed and all of that. Y'all don't understand. Me and AB, we go back and forth like that on occasions, man. It's all love, though. It ain't actually nothing really, really personal. But some of y'all take it the wrong way and think that that's what it is. So it's all good with us, man, just so y'all know. But even though he talking that crazy talk. But TD, I've been following since Tannehill days, so like 2+ years. Shout out and go to Valoa. You know, obviously that's one of Tua's biggest fans. But yeah, man, I know you've been with us for quite some time, man. Shout out to you, homie. But yeah, man, I actually like going back and forth sometimes. Spit some bars, TD. Man, spit some bars, TD. I'm on your screen like 3D coming through your. Ooh, I told you, no, I can't spit no bars. If you want to see some bars, you got to go on to my OnlyFans. You know, go subscribe to my OnlyFans. All right. We got some new content up there, so y'all go check out the OnlyFans. All right. You get all the bars. It's TDPHINSTALK OnlyFans. Okay. Go check it out. You know what? I bet you there have legitimately been people that went to OnlyFans and be like, "This dude got OnlyFans for real." Oh, y'all. Big Drip ENT in the building, y'all. Oh, man. But yeah, man, if you want any exclusive content, go check out the OnlyFans. All right. I promise you I won't disappoint. But yeah, all exclusive TD Fans Talk content is on the OnlyFans. All right. But anyway, man, I'll see y'all later. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all stay up, man. Somebody said repent, man. No one is trying to see that, TD. What are y'all talking about? I can't have an OnlyFans? Like y'all, maybe y'all just got dirty minds or something. You know, OnlyFans, that ain't all it's used for. It's actually a social platform where only your fans get to enjoy exclusive content. I don't know what exclusive content y'all talk about. Y'all gotta clean your brain, clean your minds up. God. Oh man, I'm out of here, man. Y'all got to do better, man. Y'all can't always think the worst, you know. Y'all know there's preachers on OnlyFans too, right? I'm serious, like literally OnlyFans giving exclusive messages and stuff like that. All right. Now I know it's a lot of crazy stuff on OnlyFans, but no, in all seriousness, that ain't all that's on OnlyFans. I have never subscribed to OnlyFans, but I've actually heard an interview that's not all that's on there. Like people have OnlyFans for only their fans. It's almost like a Patreon as well. But a lot of people use it for those reasons y'all think about. But anyway, man, I'm about to get up out of here. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all take care of yourself. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace. I am out. Y'all stay blessed.